So, one last question, and then we're kind of done, and we'll do some mingling, I guess. Your favorite Monterey history? Small, short story.
Well, so I would say, for me, one of the reasons why I like being the historian for DLM for Monterey is that the history of the area. I think Dennis mentioned that the Lower Presidio is the place where Uniparacera came ashore, and the Portola expedition founded California right at the base of the Presidio of Monterey, where I work. There's all these monuments on the Lower Presidio that relate to the early history of California, and you can really talk about the history of California, and I'm actually allowed to do that. In fact, I gave a lecture last month on the Hispanic heritage of the Presidio of Monterey, and I can go back 500 years in history by doing that, which is, for me, that's really lovely. The Spanish history of California is fascinating. I'm able to link it, the Presidios of Monterey. There was actually 2 of them, which I won't go into detail, but why the name of the post is the Presidio of Monterey, because there was original Spanish Presidio. So I can't even talk about my institution unless I talk about the Spanish heritage that precedes it. So that's one of the things I really like about it.
Gosh, all history of Monterey. It's very hard to, a particular story or a particular event, they're all important. One area that I'm particularly interested in is the transition period from Mexican Monterey to the American period, and all the changes that took place and all the things that tended to remain the same. The government that continued as a Mexican form of government, a quality form of government, and then the transfer into American jurisprudence and government. And one of the people that has fascinated me for years is a well-known bandit of Monterey, Divercio Vasquez. And Divercio Vasquez, his house where he was born is right behind Colton Hall. And he represents a California dealing with this transition that was happening to his people. They're given rights by the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, but and also in the new Constitution of 1849, full-fledged citizen. But it doesn't work out that well during the Gold Rush, and the Latino people are repressed. What happens? Monterey remains a Spanish town. And the language of the street, the language of the schoolyard was not just English, it was Spanish up until 1890 at least, maybe 1900. So this fascinates me that we have this heritage and we don't talk about it as much. And so that period of transition, becoming America, an American California and an American, and still having these roots, these very deep roots in Spanish culture, continue to engage me and delight me. So, and Vasquez is just sort of the other way to go, the other route, not the honorable. His brother was a very honorable man, by the way. He was a farmer, helped found a school in Carmel Valley, but he went another way. Why? And those questions in history fascinate me.
Well, obviously I'm very focused on Steinbeck and Steinbeck's life here in Monterey and elsewhere, because he did live abroad and he did move to New York eventually. But I think I'll pick one that is maybe a surprising choice. I'm very fascinated by, and I think it's a very important issue, was the negative reaction here and elsewhere throughout California to Grapes of Wrath. I think it was a very important conversation that needed to be had nationally to talk about what is a dirty book and should you be allowed to read them. And so particularly all the negative reactions here sparked a conversation for people to talk about why this should be allowed and why just because you don't like it, it should still be allowed for other people. And so from the burning of Grapes of Wrath in many places up and down California, actually we've got the American Library Association's Library Bill of Rights, which is the professional standard for librarians to protect the right of readers to read what they choose, regardless of the moral content of it and whether or not anyone has any issue with it. And it has been continually ratified from 1939, June 12th, 1939, up to this day, over and over and over again. This is the professional standard that librarians stick to. And so while librarians are sibling institutions to archives, I think they're very important, and certainly without that support from libraries, without libraries defending the idea that you have the right to read what you want, Steinbeck's books could easily be said, no, they're too dirty, they're wrong, they're bad, they're immoral. People can have any number of arguments with them, but we need to say that no, we need to read these people and read difficult, problematic, and dirty books. So.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and that will conclude our time with these.